This film is one of several outcomes arising from a long-term collaborative at the University of South Australia between academics, mental health consumers, carers, clinicians and policymakers. Called Shared Learning in Clinical Practice, our work involves the coming together through a Communities of Practice initiative. Communities of practice are groups of people who share a common concern, a set of problems, or a passion about a topic, and who deepen their knowledge and expertise in this area by interacting on an ongoing basis. Communities of practice often involve people that don't necessarily work together every day, but they meet because they find value in their interactions. As they spend time together, they typically share information, insight and advice. In our community, we discuss situations faced in mental health, consider common issues, explore ideas and act as sounding boards. In our community, we make films, create tools, newsletters and other documents. Today's film involves an interview between a psychiatrist, Dr. Conrad Newman, and a young woman called Jessica. The interview takes place within hours of Jessica's attempt to end her life. The interview features a component of social media as something that is increasingly used by young people, both as a precursor to end their life and as part of the suicide awareness and communication process. The filming of the interview is designed to assist students, practitioners and others involved in mental health care understanding how to approach similar situations that they may encounter in professional practice. Watch and listen carefully as recent events in Jessica's life are revealed. Such activity is central to the practice of narrative-based, person-centred mental health care.
Jessica?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Conrad. Oh, sorry, we'll have to shake this one. You've got a drip in that one. Yeah, I'm one of the psychiatrists here. So, I understand you came in overnight.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. Yep. And I know you've spoken to lots of people overnight. I think you've met a lot of doctors and nurses. And have you had any sleep at all?
I may have drifted off once or twice, but not much.
Okay. Did you have any breakfast at all? Okay. Can I get you anything to drink? A glass of water?
I'm fine.
Okay. So as I said, my name's Conrad Newman. I'm one of the psychiatrists that works down here in the emergency department. And I guess, what I need to do is find out a bit more about what's happened. Obviously, things are pretty awful.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's happened for things to get to that point? From what I understand, the people that saw you overnight told me that you took a fairly large amount of Panadol and that you also tried to hang yourself at some point.
Yeah. I guess I took like a whole packet of Panadol.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there was some it was a belt and yeah, so that's what happened.
Okay. I figure things have got really, really bad for you to get to that point. I don't think anybody gets to that point unless they're feeling that that's the only option for them.
Yeah.
What's happened for things to get that bad?
I don't, it's silly things, really. Like it's just people.
Okay. Who? When you say people?
Everyone.
Really? Okay.
Just people that you think, or it just seems like everyone's out to get me.
In what way? What do they want to do to you?
I think it would be better for everyone if I just wasn't here.
Okay. Better for everybody if you weren't alive, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
How long have you been feeling that way for?
It's been the worst that it's ever been lately. A few months ago, just people started sending messages and just taking my pictures online and just to find them places.
So what kind of messages have people been sending you?
Just stuff that I thought that they wouldn't know, messages that I'd sent in confidence, stuff about calling me a fag and fat, ugly, slutty whore. Just stupid things, I guess.
So awful messages. Yeah. Who from? Who sent these to you?
I don't know.
Okay. Is it people you know, or is it?
It seems, I don't. The only people who could know some of these things are people that I've talked to, like friends or not friends, but people that I've been talking to online.
Okay. I was going to ask you: is this people that you know socially, or is this messages, say, on the computer or on your mobile phone, or
computer, sometimes text.
Okay.
Tumblr. I don't play Xbox anymore because I can't. The messages I get are pretty bad at the moment.
I don't know a lot about Xbox, so is it, in what way with Xbox can people send you messages?
Voice message or just sort of random text. I mean, usually it's just stupid things like send me your picture or have you got nice tits or whatever. But I've just been getting really, why don't you go die, slut. It's just
so very, very hurtful messages, very, very aggressive messages, I guess I'd say.
Yeah.
And you mentioned pictures, that they've done things with your pictures?
Yeah, just pictures that I put on Facebook. I've been finding on other sites. People have been sending me links to other sites, and usually with just messages, words scribbled on top.
And how have they got your pictures?
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess it's fairly easy with Facebook if you've got photos that people can access.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it only takes someone that I've friended to send it out.
And the things they've done to your pictures obviously have upset you a great deal as well.
I guess so.
Does anybody know what's been happening? Have you spoken to anybody about it?
No.
And it's been happening for a few months, is that right? Did I get that right? Yeah. Okay. And how you've been feeling just recently, and particularly yesterday, is this the worst you've ever felt?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry that there's no tissues in here, but
That's fine.
when one of the nurses comes by, I'll ask her if she can get a box of tissues. Yeah. Okay. Could I ask you a little bit about your life? Where are you living at the moment?
Just at home with my parents. I can't really afford to live out.
Okay.
I'm studying at the moment, and so until I sort of finish, I'll probably be living with my parents and younger brother.
Okay. How do you get on with your parents?
Fine.
Okay. Yep. Do they know what's been happening?
Not really.
Okay. Are they worried about you?
I guess so. I mean, they it's hard to talk to them sometimes.
I understand they're in the waiting room at the moment, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And your brother, who you live with, how do you get on with
He's
him?
fine. My older brother's just moved out recently, and so I guess they were always maybe a bit closer. And we don't really talk that much. He's off doing his own thing, and I'm doing my thing. And
I know all families are different, but in your family, can you talk about things, or do you talk about things when there are problems, or?
Not really.
Yeah.
My brother and I, we just talk about books or games or movies.
Okay. Prior to just this past few months, have you ever felt this way in the past?
No.
Okay. And have you ever tried to end your life in the past? Okay. Or ever tried to cut yourself in the past?
Not really. It's stupid. Just little dumb cliche teenage girl things, I guess.
Okay. In what way? What happened?
Just scratches and this is nothing serious, really.
Okay.
Just
How often in the past would you scratch yourself?
Just whenever I felt down.
Okay. Would that be every day?
Sometimes.
And when it was every day, how long would that last for? How many days do you think it would go for?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
What would you scratch yourself with?
Well, my nails are short because I chew them. So, pins or a Stanley blade, like a blade cutter.
Like a Stanley knife. Is that like one of those ones where the knife pops out?
No, not like a box cutter. Like just for cutting, one of those cutting paper tools.
Oh, okay. They're kind of thin paper. Yep. Okay. But still very sharp, I imagine. Yeah. Did you ever need to have stitches?
No.
And did anybody know that you were cutting?
No.
Okay. And when you used to cut, what would it do for you? Would you feel worse or better, or did it do anything for you in terms of how you felt?
It just gave me something to do, I guess. Just stupid. I don't know. I just did it.
There are some people I meet. They tell me about that when they tell me a number of things, but one of the things they tell me is when they cut, they actually get some relief. Like they might be feeling really distressed.
Yeah.
And they cut.
It was just a little sort of pick me up, like just to focus or.
Okay.
I mean, I read somewhere that if you feel different sorts of pain, it helps refocus your mind.
Yeah, no, I've heard other people tell me that as well.
Like
is that what it did for you? Did it refocus your mind? Or?
Yeah, sort of. It's like when you pinch something, like when you've hurt someone and someone pinches you, and all you can think about is the pinch, as opposed to other stuff.
Okay. If we could just go back to more recent times, what was happening yesterday? Can you take me through what happened in the day?
I just got a message on my Facebook, and it was from someone I knew, and I couldn't. I couldn't deal with uni that day, so I took the day off, and I was pretty close to just unenrolling that day, and I sent a friend a text saying that I wouldn't be in, or that I wasn't gonna go anymore, and I said that she's my friend and I love her, and so I sent her that text, and then I was just sort of lying around for a bit, just listening to music, I guess. And I just took some Panadol, and after a while I didn't feel it was working, so I that's what happened.
The friend who you sent the message to, a close friend?
Yeah.
Okay. Closest friend, you would say, or? Yeah. Okay. Was that like a goodbye message? Did you know that you were going to die, and that was a way of saying goodbye to her?
I just wanted to tell her that. That's all.
But you said you wouldn't be going back to uni.
Yeah.
What are you studying? You may have told me, but I don't quite remember.
Oh, I'm doing a Bachelor of Arts.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm majoring in creative writing, and I'm doing some other stuff on the side, like linguistics and just beginner's French. I always wanted to pick up a language.
What year are you in?
Oh, I'm just first year. I
Okay.
took a gap year and sort of kicking around for a bit.
Had you been enjoying uni at any point?
Yeah, no, I love my course. The lecturers there, they're so insightful, and they're so passionate about what they do, and yeah, I want to do. I like writing. So that's why the creative writing courses. I've always liked sort of stories and sort of maybe plays as well, maybe poems. Like, I mean, sort of Wilde, like Oscar Wilde, he did it all. I mean, he did poetry and he did plays and he did essays and children's stories, and so just, writing, that's what I wanted to do.
Have you stopped enjoying writing? Have you stopped writing?
I haven't written anything for a while.
Okay. But you used to obviously enjoy it a great deal?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the text message to your friend, I think you said you were thinking that maybe you wouldn't continue with uni. Was that because you were going to die, or because it just felt hopeless, that you just didn't feel you could enjoy it or couldn't do it? Or
I just, I didn't think I could do it anymore. I was feeling pretty producing shitty stuff, and it's, not up to the standards of what you were hoping to be, and it's why bother when you have these amazing lecturers to just waste their time with. You don't want to waste their time with shitty writing. It's just, you don't want to waste your own time with shitty writing.
So you weren't feeling good about it?
No.
Yeah. You mentioned you took some Panadol. Where did you get the Panadol from?
Just pantry.
A pantry at home?
Yeah.
Okay. Was anybody else at home?
No, my parents work during the day, and Luke, my brother, he was at school, you see. So I just sort of had the house to myself.
Do you remember how many Panadol you took? Okay. Were there any left in the packets?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Did you take anything else besides the Panadol?
No, we don't have a lot of stuff in our pantry.
When you took them, what did you hope would happen?
I just hoped I would just go to sleep for a bit. I couldn't really sleep. I was just hoping to just rest, stop.
Stop what?
Just not have to deal with anything. Just
Did you want to die? Was that the feeling at the time?
I guess so.
Did you write a note to anybody?
No, I sort of to myself, maybe. I don't know, I just tried to pick up a pen and I don't think I have it in me anymore.
What would you have written to yourself?
I don't know. I think that's why my writing's been so bad. It's nothing new. It's just the same stuff, same boring, cliched stuff, and I just can't make anything new or worthwhile or interesting.
Did you send any messages on Facebook or any other messages apart from the one you sent to your friend?
Just to her.
Okay.
I haven't really been sending much stuff out lately.
Can I ask a favour? If you go past another cubicle, if there's some tissues, could you drop some into us? That'd be great. Yeah. Okay. You also said you took them to get some rest, and you mentioned about your sleep. How has sleep been for you recently?
Not great. I haven't been sleeping much at all.
Okay.
I've usually been getting into bed about 3, 4 in the morning.
And how many hours would you be asleep for?
I'd probably get up at 7.
So not many hours at all. Yeah. Do you feel rested in the morning? Okay.
No, I feel like shit.
You do? Okay. How's your energy been lately?
I haven't had any. I just go to uni and then get home by like 3, 4.
Sorry, thank you. There you go. Just got to get some tissues. There you go.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll get home at like 3 or 4 and then I'll just do nothing, I guess. Sometimes I'll go for a walk, but usually I'll just end up lying in bed watching TV or something, or just on the internet surfing.
Okay. You mentioned a little while ago too, you'd taken the Panadol, but then you said something about a belt, which was, I think, what I heard from my colleagues this morning as well. I heard that actually you tried to hang yourself. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened? Do you remember after you'd taken the Panadol?
No, I don't really remember much after that. I just yeah, I put it around my neck and then I don't remember much at all.
I guess once again, just to check, when you put it around your neck, what were you hoping would happen?
That it would sort of, I don't know, give me some sort of way to move, give me some sort of direction, or just something to do.
Well, I'm not sure I completely understand that in terms of when you say direction.
I don't know, it just give me something finite to hold on to.
Did it feel like, at that point in time, that you wanted your life to be over?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that was what it's all about.
What people sometimes tell me is that they feel like it's a solution, but they can't stand feeling that way. They can't stand being in so much pain, emotional pain anymore. Did it feel like that at all?
Just, I mean, some of that day was really nice. But I was just by myself, and but there's all these people, even when they're not there, they're still there, and you know they're there, and you know that they're talking about you or worrying about you. And I just didn't want to be a part of it anymore.
I understand that after you tried to hang yourself, your mum got home shortly after that, is that right?
Yeah, I think my friend rang her or something.
Oh, was this the friend that you sent the text message to? Okay. So she must have been worried about you.
Yeah, well, I guess she was meant to be at work, so I guess she must have come home like during her lunch break or something like that.
So your mum came home, and what happened from there?
I don't remember. I remember bits.
What bits do you remember?
Just sort of lying on the floor and just hearing the roller door. But that was about it.
Do you remember being in the ambulance or anything like that? Or? Okay.
No.
I imagine you've met, probably about 100 people since you came in here. I understand they did a CAT scan, is that right, of your neck? Do you remember going for that?
Not really. Okay. I don't. It's just all been this. I mean, not the same. I mean, it's just all been a blur, I guess.
And I hope they explained to you that what's going in through the drip in your arm is sort of the antidote to the Panadol, just so that you don't get any liver damage.
Yeah, they said something like that.
How are you feeling about still being here, about still being alive?
It's just another thing that I didn't do well, I guess.
So you're feeling bad that it didn't work? Is that what you mean?
I really don't want to have to see people after this. And then knowing what I did, and then just always worrying, and I don't want to be sort of wrapped up in bubble wrap because everyone's scared. I guess I just don't want people to know that I fucked up again.
Do you have any hopes that things can get better?
I don't know. It's just really scary. It just someone could like just snap their fingers and make everything better. I don't know. Of course, I'd probably take it.
Yeah.
But it's just everything's tangled up, and there's just too many people involved. Just seems like it's no real easy way out.
This might sound like an unusual question to ask at this point in time, but how do you feel about yourself?
What do you mean?
Do you like yourself? Do you not like yourself? So some people I meet who are going through a similar kind of point in their life sometimes tell me that they hate themselves.
Yeah, it's probably apt.
That you hate yourself?
It seems silly to sort of all these messages, and I mean I can't defend myself because they're basically right. I mean, in hating me or whatever they do. Just I'm just not someone of worth.
Are there any reasons for living? Any reasons to keep going with life?
Well, there's people out there that I love, like Luke and Adrian, Mum, Dad, my friend.
Luke and Adrian are your brothers? Okay. And your mum and dad?
Yeah, but I mean, I love them and everything, but I just everything's so tangled up, and just everything is easier when it's just disconnected from everything. It's just more people to worry about, more people to disappoint or have worry about you.
Do you feel like you're a burden on anybody, like your family? Or, okay.
I mean, Adrian's out moving out, and you know he's working, and he graduated and he studied languages, so he's working with kids, and he's got heaps of things in the pipelines, and he's just he was depressed a few years back, but he got over it, and yeah.
Did he have to have any treatment back then?
He went to talk to someone, but I mean, after that then he was normal again. Just, I don't know. It was probably just stress. To to do with this study.
Has anybody else in the family tried to end their life?
Well,
Or anybody had a problem with depression or any other kind of psychological problem?
no.
Okay.
We have like an aunt who's bipolar and
Okay. Yeah.
has big swings, but
Yeah.
nothing.
That's your mum's sister or your dad's sister?
Dad.
Dad's sister. Okay. Has she had treatment for her bipolar, do you know?
I don't really know much about it.
Okay.
I just know that she has.
I might check that with your family anyway. Okay. Just in the past few days, you mentioned you haven't been sleeping at all while you've been feeling generally pretty lousy and so on. Have you felt agitated? Have you felt very anxious and almost a kind of a can't sit still feeling?
Sort of like in my head. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Like, all I want to do is just sit and lie somewhere. But I just feel like I think it happens when you're tired, when you just feel like weirdly far away, like far away and small, and yet you're sort of in your own body at the same time. That's just kind of what it's been like. So, yeah, I haven't been doing much, just lying, and I haven't been focusing much on any one thing. Like, I'll click an article to read it and get halfway through and just give up. And
Okay. So your concentration hasn't been that good? Okay. When would you say you last felt happy or that you were enjoying life? How long ago is it?
I don't know. There's things that I like doing, and so, I want to get a group of friends together and we dress up or go to a sort of, someone has a video game night at their house. It's nice. Just don't have to think about anything. Just when it finishes, that you feel it's back to the same.
Okay. Back to feeling awful and back to feeling pretty alone, I guess, is the feeling, I guess. Is that fair to say that you have been feeling pretty isolated, or?
Yeah. But yeah, there's all these people at the same time. But I don't. It's not like I see their face or anything. I mean, it's just sort of that feeling of being alone and claustrophobic at the same time. It's just all these people that surround you, and you don't know who they are or where they are or.
If I were to ask you, and once again, this is a fairly difficult question to answer, but if I were to ask you where you thought your own risk for suicide at the moment is, 0 is no risk for suicide, 10 is you definitely want to die, and that suicide is the solution to how you're feeling, where would you put yourself between 0 and 10?
6, maybe.
6? Okay. And the desire to live, where 0 is just no desire to live at all, and 10 is definitely wanting to be alive. Where would you put yourself on that scale?
One.
So not very much at all.
I just don't want to see anyone.
Has anybody been in to see you this morning? Okay. I notice your phone's there. Have you had any calls or messages? Or?
It's been turned off.
It's turned off. Okay. Did you turn it off, or did it go flat?
Must have gone flat. The last time I touched it, wouldn't turn on, so I just assumed I hadn't charged it or anything. So it's got a pretty short battery.
Okay. What would you like to happen at the moment? Where would you like to go to from here?
I just want to go to sleep, maybe. I don't want to see anyone at the moment. Just away.
Is there anything you could think of that would help?
Probably stop doing so much online shit. But I mean, it sounds so stupid, but it feels weird, like being disconnected. Like it feels weird to disable my Facebook, and it feels like I can't. Like I'm being silly because I can't deal with it.
I think it has a pretty huge impact on a lot of people now. That's certainly what we're seeing.
I mean, I do everything through it. I mean,
that's
I do everything online.
Yeah. It's life for most people, for a lot of people nowadays.
I mean, it's how I contact people, and we have groups for different uni classes, and like, you know, game nights or game groups. We have groups, and so you organise it online. And that's just how it's done.
Is there anything else I should know at the moment that I haven't asked you?
I don't think so.
I've asked you more than 20 questions, more like 120 questions.
Yeah.
What questions would you have for me? So,
did my parents contact you? Or?
They've left messages, yeah, and we work as part of a team here in the emergency department. You may have met one of the nurses, psychiatric nurses that I work with this morning. You probably met so many people it's hard to tell who's who. But they told me in a meeting shortly before I came here that your mum and dad are very keen to talk with me. They're in the waiting room at the moment. How would you feel about me talking with them?
Just you going out and talking with them?
Yeah.
Fine.
That's okay.
I just don't want to see them.
Okay. Why is that? I
don't want to see their reaction.
How do you think they will react?
Not well.
Are you worried they'll be upset or angry or?
Just, I just find it really hard to talk to them.
Yep. Okay.
And they'll be really concerned and blame themselves. I can't talk to them.
Okay. What other questions would you have?
What happens now?
I guess that's what we need to figure out. I guess I can say at the moment, and this is the first time I've met you, but I'm very, very worried about what you've been through. And I'm very sorry to hear just how hard life has become for you. And that's what I'd like to look at, is how we can help you in any way that we can, just to get through what's obviously the most difficult period in your life to date, I would think.
So do I go home or have people told uni? I
don't know. That's all the stuff we need to sort out. And rather than trying to sort it out right now, I'd like to come back and see you a little bit later on. Okay. After I've spoken to your parents too, and I know you're very worried about how they might be reacting to this, but they've known you all your life, so it's very important for me to talk to them as well. But obviously we want to do what's best for you, and for you to understand what's happening and why we might make decisions that we're making. Okay. So I'll head off and see them and be back probably in the next couple of hours or so. This is called Parvolax, the stuff that's going through the drip into your arm. That needs to run until early hours of this evening. So you certainly need to stay at the moment just to get that antidote. Once again, hopefully they told you, but they'll do some more blood tests after that finishes just to check what's happening. Can I get you any water at all, or juice, or a tea, or a coffee? Or?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, or a sandwich? Or hospital sandwiches aren't the best.
No.
That's what we have down here. Okay. Well, thank you very much for talking with me. I imagine you're incredibly tired, having been awake all night. And that's, I think, one of the things as well is we need to make sure you get a little bit of rest during the day. Okay? Okay. Thanks very much. I'll shake this hand because you're the ones in the drip.
Yeah.
Okay. See you soon.